Hello guys out on YouTube. For those people who've logged on just joined in, welcome. This is my live stream on how to create an EDM drop. We are also live on Dodge Radio here as well. I was just saying to them guys that this is a hybrid of my of a YouTube live stream and a show that I'm hoping to start on Dodge as well. This is more of a tutorials type thing for those people who are into making music as well. Okay, so what we're going to do from now until 7 o'clock tonight is today's little tutorial will be how to create a massive EDM dance drop. So we're going to be looking at the risers, we're going to be looking at the big beats, we're going to be looking at all the little sounds and things like that, and we're actually going to be creating live now our own drop from scratch. Now in front of me, you guys won't be able to see it, but I've got a Logic project with me, and the only thing that's up now is this. It's a piano. There's nothing else on my screen whatsoever. I've got my 5 cans of Coke next to me, so let's begin. Now, for those people who have seen all these sort of major artists such as Avicii, David Guetta, Audion, and all that kind of stuff, they tend to make a hell of a lot. They tend to put a lot of stuff in there when it comes down to making drops. We're not David Guetta or Audion. We're me. We're DJ JC. And we do things a little bit different, but the same as well. Everybody has their own way of doing drops, making sort of like big house hits and things like that. So let's get to it. I'm not gonna try and talk too much on this. I want the music to do most of the talking, as well as me trying to explain what to do and things like that. Okay, so drops. First thing you need to work out is your chords. Okay, so what chords are you going to make in your song? So this is where the mess about comes into play. So you just start messing around, I personally just start messing around with different chords on the piano, trying to work out what's what. Let me set this tempo to 128 BPM for a start. That way then, okay, there we go. Right, I don't like that metronome for a start. Always important. Set a project template up if you know roughly what you're going to be doing. If you don't and you want to sort of go live like me, then make sure you've got everything set up in a certain way. I'm using Logic here, but you can use anything. Complete, you can use, Complete, we'll use in anything. Logic, Reaper, Cubase, Pro Tools, FL Studio. They're all different doors, but they're all the same as well. So where is it? So I'm looking for the metronome settings so I can get a better metronome up here and all that kind of stuff. Here we go. Right, 70. That's better. Right, so chords. That's what I always start with. I always use pianos in my songs. You don't have to, but I do because, well, I'm a piano person. Right. Let's transpose this to a better key. Let's go here. How about no, tell you what, let's go back down here. A minor. A minor slash 9. Okay. No. So we've got that. Nah. That'll work, actually. Okay, so if we go. Okay, so what I tend to do in these sort of breakdown parts is I tend to sort of do a piano, shitloads of pads. Sometimes I tend to put like a clock sound effect in there, just to sort of give it that nice little bit of ticking noise and things like that. Lovely. So let's get this part up, done, and then I'll show you how to make a really sort of convincing rise, and then we get into the actual drop, because we want this sound to sound, you know, marginally professional. I thought about just doing a drop on its own, but then I thought, well, do you know what, why don't we do the whole thing? So let's record this piano, turn that off, put the metronome on. So if we go down here, okay. What are you doing? Go away. Okay. So what we could do this one or two ways. I can play it all the way through, or I'm gonna cheat. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna cheat, and I'll show you how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put cycle mode on, which basically turns a sort of like a loop function on, and this will stretch over to 4 bars rather than me playing continuously. And then I'm gonna cheat by quantizing this into place, and then just sort of copying the regions over as many times as I want. That way it shorts out the some of the workflow and all that kind of stuff, and you can move on to the next. So let's see. Without making mistakes. Okay, there we go, that's what I wanted. Too many notes. Go away. Okay, we'll do this again. Right, quantize that. First look outside that. Keep. Right. There we go. Right, so now that's on 4 bars. Now let's say we want that going across 16 bars rather than 4. So all we got to do, we've got our region selected here. Now for those people who don't know what a region is basically like a little playable thing, a little part of what you just recorded. Now every time you record a new thing, it creates a new, what they call a region thing, aka a new recording of MIDI tracks and stuff like that, or audio. They're all called regions here on Logic. Don't know what they're called in Reaper, don't know what they're called in FL Studio, but in Logic they're called regions, and they're sort of like little bits of file audio, MIDI files and stuff like that. So I'm not really explaining this, but anyway, let's create a few more. And to do this, we press Command R. Big up Andre Louis on this one, because he was the one who taught me this little trick. Right, Command R, 8, 12, 16. Right, let's see if this works. Cycle loops off. Oh, there we go. Cycle loops off. Let's try this. this second region. Third. Fourth. And there you go. Now that's just taking out half my workflow for me. Now it could have been quicker for me to play it in, but considering that I'm playing exactly the same chords all the way through, rather than trying to be sort of like showing off. I'm not showing off today because we don't really have a lot of time for that. Sorry, I'm trying to check some bits and pieces. Yeah. Rather than trying to show off and all that kind of stuff, I'm just making things very easy. But that's a bit boring, don't you think? Let's see if we can't make some sort of nice little piano on the top. Now, I'm going to take an ARP that I've used on another track, sort of like, we call these sort of thing piano ARPs. And what they do is they sort of spice up the chords that I've just been playing there. So they sort of take on what I've just been playing and make it just a little bit better, a bit more colourful, if that makes any sense. So I'm just duplicating this track. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for it to duplicate. No, it's not. Okay, perfect. We're just busying at the moment. I want to send a big shout out to everyone who's locked in on YouTube. Everyone's locked in on Dodge. And thank you so much for stopping by. Hope we're not boring you so much. We are here till 7 o'clock tonight. And please stick around afterwards, as we do have the briefing for Boris Johnson regarding lockdown in the United Kingdom. Okay, so are we done here? I think we are. Nope, we're not. We're still loading. What it's doing, because I've duplicated a track, it's... There we go. It's trying to copy all the... there we go. Oh, the metronome's got back to normal, but it doesn't matter now because we've got some... we've got something in there. It sounds too much like a click rather than anything else. Okay, there we go. Right, so, ARPs. Let's turn the velocity off on this. Alright, so I've just basically cheated and copied an art from another track that I've made. But let's see if we can go down here, actually. No, I don't like it. So let's go up there. Okay, so you might have noticed I stopped before the fourth region ended, and I'm going to show you why a bit later on, but let's quantize this and see what it sounds like without the metronome. Right, that's a bit too in your face, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the velocity down just a bit so it's not in your face. That's nice, like that. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit more cheating, and basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load up some pads. Now, instead of me trying to trawl through pads to find out which, because I already have a rough idea of what I want on this track, and for the sake of time keeping, I don't want to take forever trying to trawl through bits and pieces, is that I'm just going to load up a whole load of stuff from a previous project that I've made using these chords. So I'll just go to file browser on my door. Go to all files, and then the rest, as they say, is history. Okay, so I want table view. Leave off. I was going to put voiceover through this, but to be honest, it will probably annoy the crap out of you listeners, so I'm not going to bother. Right, so we go to computer. We go to my hard drive. We go to logic. You're gonna go. I put this in a table view, and for some reason you have to. There's no quick way to sort of go. Actually, maybe there is. Actually, let me try this item chooser. Yeah, there is. Yeah, so you can go. If you can use item chooser here, but otherwise, what you'll have to do is you have to select. Go through all the different icons in the table, and if you've got a hell of a lot of files, like I have, then it can take for some time. So the usual thing where you normally press a letter, and it doesn't. Oh, stop busying me. There you go. Well, normally when you press a letter and it don't go through properly, normally goes through. It doesn't want that down here. Right. Show hide browser. So I pressed the wrong button, and it came up with something that I did not want to come up. Okay, so we go down to logic, and I want one of my previous projects. Let's choose this one. Here we go. It's from a remix that I've done a few months ago, and we'll just copy some of the stuff from there, and we'll just import it into this project, and then hopefully we should get something going. Sorry, the computer's just busying me up in a moment. See, this is what live is all about. You do get some sort of strange glitches happening. I'll play for you while this loads. Still busying on me? Okay. Ah, there we go. Right, so okay, so let's go to the item chooser again. We'll find. Let's see if we can find what I'm looking for. You know what it is? I've got a hell of a lot of files on here. None of them are named properly. And now I've got to. There we go. A lesson to anyone who is listening and who wants to get into this: make sure you rename your files properly, and I mean give them good names. Even if you do something like new track 1, well, don't go down the thing when it says new track 1, new track 2, new track 3. If you are gonna do that, if you know the genre that you're gonna be putting your stuff in, make folders of different genres. So if you're going to say like future bass 1, future bass 2, make a future bass thing, you'll have less files to sort out. in that way, rather than putting them all in a logic folder and then you got to through for about 20,000 different bits of file to find what you're looking for. Okay, so what it's doing now is it's loading up the project that I had before, and now it's presented me with a list of different tracks in which for me to choose which I want to import. So let's go. I want to find all these pads. So I don't want the content. I want pad 1, pad 2, pad 3. What's this? I want this pop strings thing. I want pad 4. I want that high pad. Hits 1. I want this as well. That's another hit that I got from this other track. Drone bass, we're definitely going to need that. No, we don't want the content on that though. I've got bells and I've got twinkles. Where the hell did I name these? Kick, drop. No, we're going to do all that live actually, otherwise it'll be too quick. Okay, right, so we've got what we want. Let's go to add. Right, now it'll give it a moment while it loads all the tracks up. Depending on how quickly your laptop or your computer is going to be, this can take from like 5 seconds up to a minute. So sometimes you are just going to have to bear with it for a second. This is what happens when you start transferring data from one project to another. It tends to sort of like slow up, max out your CPU just a little bit, so you just got to wait for it to load, especially when you're loading stuff all complete, and you're doing sort of like sample libraries. It just takes a little bit of time, so we're just going to have to sit back and relax and wait for a little bit. Sorry about the crackly a little bit. It's loading things, so that's why, as I said before, it maxes out your CPU just a little bit, so you're just gonna have to. I want to send a big shout out once again to everyone who is locked in, locked on. If you did want to get in contact with us, you can do so on YouTube side. Please feel free to post in the chat. I am keeping an eye on the chat every sort of like 2 seconds. You can also get me on Facebook. That's facebook.com/JC Productions. That will take you straight to my page. If you're on from the Dodge side, you can get in touch with us by the Facebook or Twitter website. So it's facebook or twitter.com/Dodge Radio. And you can give us a text on 07786200690. So, yeah, What's everyone up to today anyway? Apart from sitting around listening to me. Hope everyone is doing good apart on this lockdown. I'll be glad when this is over, I promise you that now. Okay, so things are loading up now. It's just taking some time. There we go. Right, so it's all loaded up. So I'll show you what I've got here. I've got this is number 1. This is pad number 2. Pad number 3. Pad number 4. Pad number 5. 6. And then we've got some hits. For those who know me, know these are the hits I always use. And then we've got these ones down here. Then we've got some twinkly bells. And some more twinkle bells. Then we got, what's this? Oh, we've got a clock down here. Didn't copy the bass over. Wonder why. Oh well. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is that I have already done some stuff on layering when it comes down to pads. So I'm not really gonna make such a big thing out of this. I'm just gonna basically do this straight one time. So what that would involve me doing is not a lot of talking. I'm just gonna need to get rid of some of this bits and pieces actually, because they're just getting on my nerves really, to be honest. Hits, there we go. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just removing some of these hits that unfortunately managed to just copy over when I was importing some of the files on the other projects. So we're just getting rid of some clutter, basically. Clutter we don't need. You can go, you can go, you can go, and you can go. You've just made my life a hell of a lot easier. Thank you so much. And then what we'll do here is we'll go to the pianos up the top. We'll change the nudge value feature on this. We'll change it to, what should we change it to? We'll change it to beat. 1, 2, 3, 4 here, down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've left a set of hits in. Hopefully we'll get this. Done. Right, let's get the pads in. Right, so I'm not going to be doing a lot of talking for the next bit. I'm just going to do it. Bloody pads. What are you doing? Go away. All right. Okay, that's in a completely wrong key there. We just change that, shall we? Let's get the piano, transpose that up. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, so what I've done there is I've had to record these pads in manually because these ones here, because I wanted them different to the chords that I normally use for the other two, to sort of give it more, to fill the track out a little bit. For more details, please check out my YouTube video, my first live stream YouTube video. Let's see how this sounds. Okay, so what I've done there is I've just played a load of pads in there to sort of spice up the track. I'm going to do one more, and then we're going to see if we can't put some twinkles in with that art piano up there that we've got going on, and then we'll put the bass line in. Then I'll show you guys how to make the risers using sweep effects and some snare rolls. Okay, let me show you a little trick. So basically, you got these and the piano doing exactly the same things. Now, you probably wonder, why the hell am I just doing that? Well, I could do something a little bit more exciting. Well, I'm about to. So basically, these two are doing this. It's not really a lot, is it? So, but what if we... Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to nudge the bells forward just a touch, and listen to how different it sounds now. Just nudge them forward a bit. There you go. So this is what they sound like before I nudged them. Actually, they sound exactly the same. What am I doing? Oh no, that won't work on this, would it? Okay, I'll try to undo it, but it wasn't having it. And to be honest, I'll have to undo it because I've nudged it each individual times. But yeah, this is what that's how it sounds. Sounds a lot better when they've been nudged forward just a little bit. Let's put it back with the rest of the track and see what it sounds like. Oh, I don't like that actually. It's a bit... just a bit too much. Go take that back a bit. There we go. That's what it sounds now. Right. Then this is my signature sound. So every time I make a track, I always have these sort of little twinkly things. Now they're free. You can get these from Sonic Adure. It's one part of their free libraries. It's called Music Boxes. It's a beautiful sound. I recommend anyone who wants some really sounds so to go and get a copy of these. It's completely free, and they do work with NKS Complete Control Standard. So I'm just drinking Coke. So yeah, let's put these in. Oh hell, I made a mistake. Let's do it again. Perfect. Okay, so let's quantize that. Right. One more thing I want to do on this little bit. Now, a lot of artists, EDM artists do it. Martin Garrix actually started this when he made Animals, is the ticking clock. Now, a lot of people are like, why you put a ticking clock in this? Well, I'll show you. So, I've got this clock from one of my little sound effects and stuff like that. Okay, so if I'm right in thinking this has already been time stretched to my needs. If it hasn't, no worries. I'll just have to do a bit of extra work on it. Okay, let's see. It's ticking your life away, guys. Can you hear that? Okay, so we need to do some work with that actually, because that's been cut off a little bit too soon. So what we'll do, we'll go to that track. We go to, I think it's loops where we did it. Yeah, it was. We went to loops. We'll go to 12. Let's see. Okay, now. Okay, so that's on 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now the reason I stopped at 12 and not 16 is because I'm gonna start putting risers and stuff like that in there, and what I don't want to do is that to impact with the risers and the oh, there we go. Some voice I was talking the crap in my ear. I don't want everything to sort of like be muddy and things like that. Big shout out to Patrick Shoop locked in on the YouTube side. He's listening, drinking coffee. All I gotta say is bleh. Cannot stand coffee. Big shout out to James as well, locked in as well, eating apples. Yeah, they're better. I like apple juice, which is really, really fun. Okay, so let's see how this clock ticking sounds with the rest of the track. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just turn that down just a little bit because that's just overpowering just about everything. But you see how different that actually sounds now. Sounds absolutely brilliant. Like, I'll show you out and then I'll play it with it. Put that down like 4. There we go. That's better. Right, this is what it sounds like without. Put the clock sound back in. Right, before we start getting a bit too carried away, I actually want to get that bass in there because that's just irking my soul. Like, I feel like we're sort of half dressed over here, you know what I mean? Like, we've got our top half on, but we haven't got our trousers on. Alright, dead joke. Yeah, but beg up everyone else is still locked in. What are you doing? Go away. Away we go. Look, guys, we've got a frozen computer. No, we haven't. Yes, we have. Well, we've got frozen logic, which is fun. If you're wondering how I made it, there's a lot of reverb on this, and I have only used, I think, just the music box's built-in reverb. Turn that up to full, or near enough to full, but then turn the amount down. No, turn the amount nearly up to full. No, turn the stretch up. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. Turn the stretch up a little bit, and then turn the amount down. I think reverb for me is always going to be my very best friend. I wanted to do some really sort of like dark stuff with this, you know, so say. I can't play dark. Hold on, let me. Nah, I can't do it. I'm a light person. What can I say? Right, so let me go. Let's just go down here. I want that thing that I had before. That remix I've got. Okay, so what I need to, I'm going to import that bass in now. And then Actually, yeah, I'll import that now, and then we'll put that in, and then what we'll do, it will sort of start looking at how to make risers and things like that. Um, I will tell you this thing when it comes down to making risers and all that. Don't be squeamish about purchasing a few already made risers. I mean, big up all the sound designers out there who can do this from scratch. Like, you know, you guys, I can, it's a lot of work. But sometimes, if you just want a quick fix and things like that, you can purchase some really cool sound sweeps and things like that. I mean, really cool things from Vengeance. Vengeance do a hell of a lot of good stuff on there. Their drums are really good. Like, don't be squeamish to pick them up. Don't feel like you're a lesser producer just because you purchase yourself a few sound loops and things like that. As long as you use them in your own composition, no one's gonna bite your head off. That's my personal opinion anyway. Right, where's that bass that I want? Drone bass. There we go. No, plugin. I'm really, really bad at this. I always put in, because the way I've always looked at it is, when you make something, a preset that sounds really, really good, you're going to want to use it over and over and over again. But don't always fall into that trap, because especially when you keep buying loads of new stuff. Now, I've recently just bought Spectrasonics, which I've only just scratched the surface with Spectrasonics. But I keep going back to C-Length. Why? Because I'm so addictive to it. Like, it's always been my go-to instrument. I can't help myself. But anyway, enough of my woes. Let's see. There we are. Now we've got our trousers. Right, let's see. Okay, so again, I've stopped it early because the risers will come in there from then on out, and then we don't really want. But that's a bit low in the mix. Where are you? There we go, -5. Let's turn that to -2. Turn that out. Let's see what this sounds like now. I've been playing with the volume while that's been playing around, because when I put it up to 2, it just sounded a bit too overpowering. This is the thing with bass, especially with what I call these sort of like fretless basses, sub basses and things like that. You want to be really, really careful when you're putting these in. Too much and it overpowers just about everything you've got going on. Too little and you can't hear it at all. So you've got to be really careful. Okay, so we got our we've got our sort of like breakdown here. Now what we need to do is we need to get let me think. Do we go for the right? Let me check time quickly, because I actually want to get to some of the main part. Okay, we've only got half an hour left. Now I did promise I'll work on the rises, but we're sort of slowly starting to run out of time. We've got, well, to say that, we've got just over under 40 minutes left. So I suppose we can do a lot of damage in 40 minutes. What I'm going to do actually is I want to actually start working on the main drop. Now, again, instead of me messing around trying to search through things, I'm just going to load up some bits and pieces that I've got already set up to give you a rough idea of how I would personally, how I normally make a drop. And then next stream, I will basically go through the search process. But to be honest, it's pretty self-explanatory. 90% of most producers' time is spent goofing off trying to find the right sounds. And again, if you got the sort of your sound and all that kind of stuff, there's no point doing all that stuff. So yeah, but this thing should already be set up for side chaining and things like that. If it's not, well, just a bit more work to do. But hey, here we go. And you're busying on me, and that is not good. Right, while that's sort of taking its time to load up. Are you loaded up? No. Let's check the chat. There we go. Big shout out to Malachi, is locked in, locked on. Just asked me a question about DJ software and all that Logic stuff and all that kind of stuff. Personally, it depends what you're looking for. Logic, if you want to buy Logic, then that will cost you £200, $200 on your app store. If you want to buy Complete, well, that really depends on what version of Complete you're looking for, like, because they're Complete is basically essential bundles and instruments and things like that. DJ software, I personally use DJ Pro for Mac, and you can pick that up from their website store, www.algorithm.com, I think it is, or is it .net? I'll have to get back to you on that one. Or you can just pick it up from the App Store. Again, you got DJ for iPhone, DJ for Mac, DJ for Windows. They've got. I will turn around and say this though: it's better accessible on iPhone and on Mac. I haven't really experienced it on Windows yet, so but I don't know how accessible it is on there. But I think the Mac is about $49.99, I think, and for the iPhone, it's a lot less. But yeah, so look for DJ Pro 2 and all that kind of stuff. And as Patrick just said in the chat, just search for Google. It's normally the first link up. Okay, so let's get back to this. So what I'm gonna do again, I'm just gonna load some synths that I've already, like synth presets that I've already made, just to save time. There we go. Okay. You know, you can do some serious stuff with this sound. Sounds weird though. Oh. This bass is from Lethal, by the way, which is a really, really cool synth. I highly recommend anyone who is looking for really cool basses and pluck synths and things like that. I highly recommend you get Lethal. There's also NKS presets on Freelance Sound Labs. I think they're going at the moment for $13. But I bought this about 2 years ago, so I don't know how much that's changed. But you can get these for about $13 on Freelance Sound Labs as well. But you have to own the full Lethal plugin in order for these things to work. Okay, so now that's loaded up. Let's choose what we are looking for from this old project. We want content track import view plugin. Drop synth 1, drop synth 2, drop synth 3. Drop bass 1. Oh no, we've got 2 drop basses, but I'll do. Lead 1. Lead 2. Lead 3. Right, let me just load these drums that I've already got. We want kick. And I'll tell you where I'm getting all these from in a second, actually, to be fair. I want the drop snare. I want drop crashes. I want drop clap. Snare rise. Okay, and we'll just add all this in one hit. Okay, now it's just busying me. Again, some of these stuff are sample libraries, so we are just going to have to sort of wait for it to do its thing. And while it's doing its thing, I'll do this. Coke's bad for you. I should take my own advice. Don't drink Coke. Mind you, I'm a major tea drinker when I'm sitting there making tracks. Big up all you coffee drinkers. All I've got to say to you lot is, ugh. I tried this stuff a couple of times, cannot stand it. My fiance is trying to get me to try them flavoured lattes or whatever they're called. I haven't done it yet. And I will not do it because they are disgusting. No, I'm joking. Will this thing hurry up and load? You're taking up my precious time, and I want to get to track making and not sit here and jabber on about meaningless things. Meaningless things. There we go. Give out some more shout outs as well. Big up James, big up Malachi locked in, big up Patrick, big shout out to Leon locked in as well, big up Alia, big up don't know who else is locked in, but yeah. Hey guys, we're still being busied on. Okay, so why this is loading up, let me give you some tips on synth layering and things like that. There's one or two ways you can do this. One is to choose one big powerful synth and hope for the best. Now, 9 times out of 10, that will fail. Depending on... Well, actually, no, it won't. Because I'll say 5 times out of 10, it will probably fail. And I'll tell you the reason why. Depending on how big you want your track, your drop to be, you would want to sort of incorporate as many synth layers as possible. If your track isn't, if you're not planning to do one of these big, massive, saw lead drops, then one synth would just be enough for you. If you want to do a big, massive sort of progressive house drop, then you are going to need something a little bit more bigger, and that's where multiple synth layers come into play. Now, I call this the 3 to 4 step process. The first synth you want is your main synth, so that will drive just about everything else. That's your loudest synth. Now, these are chords I'm just talking about. We'll get to the leads in a second. So your first synth will be like the one that drives just about everything else behind it. Your second synth is a little bit more quieter, but it's still there in the mix. What you want there is something just a little bit flangery to sort of give the to give it that little bit of an extra color, rather than everything sounding so basic and all that kind of stuff. The third synth is what I call the high synth, and what that will do is that will sort of take control of the high end sort of the track, so like your high frequencies, your sort of noise. Some people tend to use the third synth as a noiser, So like you'll change the third synth into sort of like a white noise or pink noise or something like that, just to give it that extra sort of energy in the room. Because when those people have been to festivals or clubs, you do tend to get a lot of like where they're sort of blowing, doing loads of like smoke things and all that. And then the fourth thing is the piano. So right now, this has already been set up now. So let's have a look and see what we got. Right now, I've set all these synths up already. What I've done is I've taken all the attack out, all the release out on this. So we'll start with this. So let's go to the end of where's. I think I put a loop on this by accident. Let's take that off. There we go. Okay, so now I've got half an hour to get this. Do you think I can get this done in half an hour? Right. Okay, so this is our main synth. Let's go down here. Okay, so I've only done that again for just 4 bars, and I'll show you why. Because what I'm gonna this is where things start getting a little bit tricky. We've got to do a bit of messing around, but you've only got to do this once, and then you can just do copy and paste and stuff like that over the next thing, and then yeah. So there's a problem with the way I played them chords, and the problem is the release. Now, the note length are all over the place, so we need to fix that. So what we do is we will go to the events list by pressing, I think it's command 6, or is it command 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think it is. Yeah, it's command 7. So you open up the events, we go to edits, I think it is. No, it's not edit, it's functions. Shows how much I use this a lot. There we go, node events. We want was it MIDI transform? Fixed note. Okay, so I've got that completely wrong. So we go to functions, we go to MIDI transform, and we go to where it says fixed note length. Now what it's going to do is open up another little window that you're already in, and then it'll open up a little window, and in that window there's all these sort of different options to basically change the note length. Now in there's a scrubber group which basically has a load of different numbers. So at the moment it's set to 0, 0, 1, 0, and they correspond to how long the note length is. So the first 0 will be in bars, second 0 will be beats, third 0 will be divisions, and fourth 0 will be in ticks. And we can interact with the scrubber group by voiceover users VO shift down arrow, and we can just basically adjust the note lengths accordingly. The problem with this little exercise is that we've got to do each note length in turn. There's no way to select multiple note lengths. Well, actually, yeah, there's no way to select multiple note lengths when you want to do different parameters to them. So you can select multiple note lengths if you want them all to do the same thing. Like this, for instance. Oh, I've got to come out the window in order for this to work. Okay. But I want some of them longer than others. So this is where it starts getting complicated. So I've got to now piss about with each individual note length in turn, and basically stretch them to the desired length that I think would work, because I do want some breaks in this. If you just want to voice legato everything, then that's easy. But if you want to piss around like what I'm doing, then this is going to take a bit of time. If there is an easier solution to this, I will pray someone will let me know. But I don't know it yet, so we're going to have to go the long way. So, let's see what this sounds like if I put... Oh, select and operate. No, we want... So. We're halfway there already, but now I need to do the others. Okay. Let's close down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So once we selected, so then we go back into the main event list window. So I did make myself clear, and then we can close that window down, and then we're going back to the main event list where you can sort of select all your different notes, and then what you do is you choose the notes you want. So the next note I want is this. There we go. And then we can start messing around with each individual note length in turn. So just bear with me for a second while I try and work this out. No, that's not long enough. Nearly there. 2, 2. Now you see why this takes forever. So now I've got to do the others. Okay, I'm going to mute quickly on this end while I quickly just do it. Actually, no, I could just put the mic down there like that. Okay, so this is what I wanted. Okay, there's someone up with one of them notes. Right, what I'm not going to do is do the other 4 because that's going to take forever. So, let's cheat. Let's close that. Go to track contents. Drop synth 1. I've got time for this. And we'll cut that in half to 2. And we'll just loop it to 2 beats, and then we get like 7 bars, 2 beats, and then we'll get 7 bars, 3 beats, and then we get this. Now here comes the fun bit, because why do all that again when you can just do this? Copy, go to the next sim, and paste. Copy and paste. And then we can just transpose this third sim 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 like this. Then we'll worry about that a little bit later. And then we just got to worry about the bass. So we just do exactly the same thing with the bass. We'll record it in 2 things, and then we'll. The good thing about note bass is that you've only got to do 2 notes. See, sounds a bit out, don't it? So we've got a fixed note length. But this will be quick now, because now we know what we're doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Open up the event list like this. Computer time.
The time is 6:47 p.m.
Okay, we've just got 15 minutes left to go. Okay, functions. Melee transform. Fixed note length. We go to select and operate. Doesn't matter which it's in. Go to the event list. There we go. Why aren't you playing anything to me? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ah, damn it, that's what I've done wrong. This is me trying to rush. Okay. Fixed velocity. What am I doing? Oh, I'm on the wrong thing, aren't I? Okay. Okay. Fixed note length. Okay. Okay, we're not long enough yet, but we will be. Oh, I've closed down the event list like an idiot. Okay, so we'll go to MIDI transform. Go to fixed note length. Announce 0. Select and operate. What have we got here? There we go. That's better. Okay, so what we need to do now is to do them 2 notes, and then we're back in business. 6, 7. Right. That's what we want. Perfect. Okay, so we'll close that down. Do what we've done before. Contents. Drop bass 1. Start looping like crazy. And we'll get this. Okay, so that's how you make a big massive drop synth. Now, computer time.
It's 6:54 p.m.
Okay, so I've got just under 5 minutes on the Dodge side to basically get some sort of bass going on, like some kicks going on. So this kick here is on battery, basically. It's from a battery expansion pack called Loose Submission. It's already been set up to sidechain, so let's have some fun. I'm literally just going to do this in 2 minutes, put some drums into this, and this is how you make a drop. And there you go. That's how you make a massive drop synth. Let's listen to this quickly from the top, and then we're out of here. Okay, and there you go. That's how you make it. I'm so sorry I had to rush that last bit, but I have to be off the stream by 7 o'clock, at least on the Dodge side anyway, because we're going to be going live to Downing Street to talk to Boris Johnson about future measures on lockdown. On for you guys there on YouTube, next time, what I will do is I will put a part 2 on this, and I'll go into a little bit more detail on how I made how to basically trawl through to find the right preset sounds and things like that, how to basically mix them in just like that, and a little bit more in detail on how to basically mess around with that note length business. Thank you for everyone so much for tuning in. Once again, I do apologize for the bit of a rush at the end, and we'll see you guys in a bit. Take care. Bye bye.